Hey, everybody. June the 6th, 2025, and I'm here with my sister Kathy, and we're going to hang out and just see what's going on. It is June in Texas, and that means it's hot. One goes with the other. It's hot in Texas. And we get rain here and there. There's no rain. I think Monday, there's like 30-40% chance pretty much every day next week. So it ain't going to rain every day, but there'll be spotty showers come and go. But the good thing about that is, at least for our area, the showers are supposed to cool the weather off some. So we're supposed to get down into like the mid to upper 80s.
Heat, cold front.
Which is a cold, yeah, for us, that's a cold front. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are, like the dead pit guys in Kentucky. It's like, oh God, 88. That's hot as hell. No, for us, that's a cold front.
Yeah.
This time of year, that's a cold front. So.
Yeah.
And I want to thank Wes. I participated in their roundtable last night.
I gotta watch that.
Yeah. The thing about that is, I enjoyed it. I hung out. But after about an hour, they started talking about the new 4K releases they're thinking about getting and all this, and talking about wrestling, and that's when I can't really hang.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a 4K player, I don't really buy physical media anymore, and I don't watch wrestling. So it was the new 4K releases and issues they had with the way they're being released and not having posters and all that, and I just all I can do is just stand there or just sit there and just kind of stare at the space.
You're like, that's not a world of which I live.
Yeah. I can talk about movies all day long, and that's how I started, talking about different movies and stuff. I can do that good. But when they start talking about the new 4Ks coming out and wrestling, no, I don't buy 4Ks and I don't watch wrestling. So
yeah, well,
thank you, Wes. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for letting me participate. And yeah.
Well, you hung in there on what you knew, you know, and you enjoyed it, and that's nice at Wes, and you were doing stuff now. And then you say y'all did a show for his Patreon?
Yeah, we did. That went well. I think it was for Patreon. It was. We did about an hour. That was a good show. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's with you?
Well, it took me about 2.5 weeks after I was in the hospital with, well, they called it walking pneumonia. Basically just means it's pneumonia, but not real bad. So I stayed, ended up being 3 nights and 4 days so they could, IV the medicines and whatnot. And then it's another 8 or 9 days at home with all the medicines and the machines and everything to get over it. But now I went to my pulmonary specialist lung doctor, and my lungs are clear, and I feel human again, and I'm not sick, and I'm happy. So, now, here's something I'm having to live with. That's a brand new world. It's a brand new world. Can't sing, won't try. Low sodium. Do you know how hard it is?
Everything's got sodium.
Yeah.
Everything. Any kind of prepackaged food.
Yeah.
And of course, the absolute worst, and you know this, is canned soup.
Yeah. And what I always go to? Canned soup. So I was drinking. I was so sick, and I live alone again, and so weak that I would make it, because I couldn't hardly breathe, y'all. With the oxygen on, I walk throughout the house with my big compressor. And I make it to the kitchen, y'all. What was I eating? Nuking a bowl of soup. Yeah. And I get in the hospital, and the first one of the specialist comes in there, and she goes, "What have you been eating?" I said, "Oh, the last 4 days I've been living on just 1 can of soup." And she said, "Yeah, no, you got to stop it." So listen, did you know? You might know.
Well, I don't know. We've got the poet is saying hello here. Hey, the poet.
Hi.
Hey,
is it
Kathy, the poet?
Hi. Thanks for wandering in. That's all I did with Jay. I called him this morning. Let's do a show. I miss doing shows with you. So he said, okay.
Hey, the poet, thanks for stepping in. And I don't
Now,
know if we've had you on before or not, but
yeah,
he's calling us by name, so I guess he knows us or she
yeah,
knows
hey.
us. So, uh,
Well, until your channel alerts kind of give it away.
oh yeah,
Jay, talk with Kathy.
hanging with Kathy, yeah, or
Yeah.
catching up with Kathy.
So I've been really, really into reading books, right? Well, my favorite, my Nora Ephron, her whole catalog came in, which basically is a book about this thick and three more, kind of 100-something page books. But anyway, I'm going to go to the library probably later today or next day or two. And I want to get this one. It's Al Pacino. There you go. Sonny Boy. Now, this is old. This is from AARP magazine. Let's give them a plug. It's probably a year or two old. So I'm sure they might have it. Anyway, Sonny Boy. It's his fans will enjoy the actor's nostalgic telling of his humble beginnings and was raised by a single mom in South Bronx and stellar career. And he recalls about how he got interested in it, and his life-changing role as Michael Corleone in The Godfather and his thoughts on aging and da-da-da-da-da, right? Anyway, but I thought to myself, ooh, I've always been a huge Al Pacino fan. I got to find this book. So I'm going to go to the library and say, y'all got this book? Because it's cheaper that way. Okay, now, do you have anything, or can I keep going? Or
You can keep going. The poet says that low sodium sucks.
oh, yeah, the point.
And you can certainly agree with that. What I was going to say, but Al Pacino has got a new movie that he's in where he's a priest performing an exorcism. Apparently, the trailer basically looks like The Exorcist, more or less. But
yeah,
he plays a priest, and he's got got like an Italian accent.
yeah. Well, I think he's either 100% or half Italian anyway. I mean,
what kind of accent he's doing. I don't know if it's Italian or what it's supposed to be, but he's doing an accent.
He's doing a priest accent.
He's getting on up there, so it's nice to see him acting again.
Oh, yes. And a lot of times these people will still be acting, but they'll be on Broadway or, you know what I mean? Things like that. We just don't know it because we're not on Broadway. We're not looking at what's going on up there. Now, there is people that mine and Jay's age, I would say 50 up, that might go to a restaurant, but you don't want a huge meal. You want a kid's meal or kid's meal portion. Me, I can't eat out anymore for a while, but because I ate out at a restaurant the other day and had a sandwich, and it wasn't low sodium. So I had to get back on my diet. But here's the deal. Can I order off kid menus? The question's been asked, making the social media rounds. And for older people that with diminished appetites, listen, I have days where I don't eat anything at all, but I take enough medication, I have to eat, right? But I don't want to eat, I just don't want to, but I have to. So I just make myself do it. The kids' meal is just perfect. It's just a small amount of portions, right? Well, I know Subway will let you buy, and I know McDonald's will let you buy kids' meals. They don't question you, right? You order it, sit there and eat it. And they're not going to say, wait a minute. But restaurants, like other restaurants, some of the managers are saying no. There's a kid in tow with you. No, because it costs just as much to make that kid's meal in the kitchen as it does a bigger meal. In other words, as far as the labor, and they're saying no. And I'm thinking operating costs such as labor, equipment usage, utilities, and prep time are not significantly reduced when prepping smaller portions. Don Caprion owns Shack in Benton County, Tennessee, an area of large retiree population. More than 47% of residents within 20 miles of a restaurant are 50 and over. And he says allowing adults to order from a kids menu is not something they do at his restaurant. And I'm thinking, I go somewhere else. That's just me. You know, and I have gone, but I have seen where you can go to sandwich shops and say, can I have a half a sandwich? I don't want the whole thing. And they will accommodate. And you might have to pay for the whole sandwich. So take half of it home, put it in the fridge.
Well, there's places kind of like a Whataburger and stuff that have like a junior burger or whatever they call it, you know, a smaller burger.
You know who this is?
I should know who that is. Is that Kathleen Turner?
Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates.
She's lost a lot. No, bless her heart. She's lost a lot of weight. But she does this. She has lost weight, gained confidence, and found a perfect gig as lead in the new Matlock reboot. But let me tell you what she said, how she got her big break. She was going to SMU University in Texas. That's in Dallas, isn't it? Southern Methodist University. Anyway, I think it's in Dallas. And she says, let Lady Luck lead you. SMU had just created a proper conservatory, and Bob Hope had given us a theater. So it's a magical time to be there. Then a friend I made there wrote a play, Vanities, which ran off Broadway and gave me a start at theater. Warren Beatty came to see us and introduced me to Dustin Hoffman. Years later, screenwriter William Goldman came to me in a different play, and they were casting Misery. So he recommended me to the director, but it all began at SMU. Misery launched her mega career. And I thought that was so cool, you know. But anyway, I didn't know she went to SMU.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Academy Award-winning actor Kathy Bates, 76. And she looks so good. She's lost, like I said, she lost weight. Sometimes we can lose 20 pounds and we look good. Because I carry a lot of weight. Okay, you ready? Are you done? You want to talk?
No, go ahead.
Okay. I know how to get you talking. Let's talk about movies. I ran across an article, AARP, Samuel L. Jackson's 15 most iconic movies or roles. Goodfellas, 1990. Have you seen that? Martin Scorsese's Mob.
Oh, of course, yeah, that's a classic. Yeah.
There you go. 1991, he did Jungle Fever. He was 42 years old. His big breakout at 42, courtesy of Spike Lee. Spike Lee is the only director that Prince had given complete catalog rights to. He can use any of Prince music he wanted.
Pulp Fiction, I think. It's not the first thing I saw him in, but it definitely was the one that kind of made him a big deal. Pulp Fiction. Yeah.
Jungle Fever was 1991. You had to have seen this one in 1993.
Well, like I say, it's not the first thing I saw him in is Pulp Fiction, but Pulp Fiction sort of made him a big deal, you know.
I don't know. I think Jurassic Park did. Jurassic Park.
I don't know. He's in Jurassic Park. I mean, he's good, but he's in kind of a small role, you know. But
yeah, being the engineer.
Out there, yeah.
And then 1997, Jackie Brown. It's then Jackson soars in his post-pulp reunion with Quentin Tarantino. Love the Long Hair. Walked. Did he just shoot Robert De Niro? Deep Blue Sea was 1999. Star Wars was 1999 to 2005. Here's my favorite one, Unbreakable.
I love Unbreakable. Yeah, that's one you don't hear a lot of people talk about. That's my favorite. That's my favorite Shamalama Ding Dong movie. Is Unbreakable. I love him and Bruce Willis. Yeah.
You know, and what does it say about it? This might be M. Night Shyamalan's best with Jackson as a very breakable villain. I think so too.
It's my personal favorite of his.
Me too. Shaft, 2000. I kind of got. I know I didn't get out of sequence too bad. The baton is passed from Richard Roundtree, shut your mouth. I'm talking about Shaft.
You got snakes on the plane on there?
I ain't done yet. In 2004, The Incredibles. Coach Carter, 2005, won a standout inner city flick. Well, I didn't care for it, but I watched it. Marvel Cinematic, 2008 to present. Nick Fury, Cal Ripken of the MCU, 16 years in movies, 3 TV series. No, but I love Snakes on a Plane. It didn't give us whole catalog.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but here's the thing about Snakes on the Plane. Because anyone that's a fan of Samuel Jackson know his favorite word is motherfucker. Every movie he's in, unless it's a PG or something like that, he said motherfucker. And so this was an early version of how the internet influenced the movie. That when people heard that Samuel Jackson was in this movie called Snakes on a Plane, they says, well, now Samuel Jackson has got to say, I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane. And he says it in the movie because of the internet saying that's what he's got to say that.
You got to say it.
So he says it. But yeah, that's his word. That's Sam's word. Pretty much, if it's a rated R movie, he's going to say motherfuckers.
I'm tired of these snakes.
That
was a creepy, creepy, creepy movie. And I'm terrified of snakes. And I didn't watch it for a long time. And finally somebody said, oh, you got to see it. And I said, okay. And I watched
it. It's stupid, but it's fun. He was also in Welcome to America, the poet.
Oh, yeah. That's Eddie Murphy's, right? Welcome to America.
No, that's Coming to America.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, he's been, that was just NRP just grabbed some, it's like 15 of them, I think. He's got such a huge catalog. I mean, I've seen him in
coming out, and it's like a Western. It goes back to like Western times.
Yeah.
He's got a mutton chop beard. But yeah, he's always making movies, Sam Jackson.
So we got a rest in peace that we need to do a salute to, because this one hit close to home for me, because a man deserves a lot of respect. When I was raising my kids my daughters were in 83, and then we moved to Austin in 95. But from 1982 to 1993, we watched Cheers at night. George Wendt just passed away. Norm. Norm was a well-loved character on the series. Prior to his work on Cheers, he also appeared on Taxi and Soap and Alice and numerous other roles.
House. I love him in House.
Yeah.
With William Catt.
Yeah. But I thought that was, here's the deal. When I'm gone, I've had fun while I've been here. I made the most of it while I was here. But we never know, so we want to send condolences to his family and friends.
I saw, it actually choked me up. It was a drawing, and it was angels welcoming in George Wendt, and they were all yelling, Norm! And that kind of choked me up.
Yeah, there you go. Because that's, Now, I've got some dailies from the dailies. In film development, Penelope Cruz and Javier Bardem. I didn't know they was married, but apparently they are. They're going to star as a troubled couple in Florian, Florian, Zeller's psychological thriller Bunker. And I like psychological thrillers. That's my jam. And also, Warner Brothers is remaking, I want to put in these categories, Jake. Why? They're remaking The Bodyguard with director Sam Wrench. the 1992 romance thriller. And Beetlejuice 3 is in development at Warner Brothers. Like the first one, didn't watch any of the rest, but that's just me. Now, this might be interesting. Kiss of the Spider Woman is in development, starring Jennifer Lopez and Diego Luna. It's to hit theaters October 10th. Now, unless it's streaming, I ain't gonna see it.
I like the original. It's been 20 years probably since I've seen it, but I remember liking the original Kiss of the Spider Woman. What was it? It was William Hurt, I think, is in that. And
I loved him. Yeah, you know, here I don't know if he's. I don't know nothing about him, but I really loved him.
I think he's in William Hurt. I think is in Kiss of the Spider.
Well, wasn't it William Hurt that was in Arachnophobia?
But I'll mention a couple of things that I subscribe to Max, which is HBO Max now.
Yeah, me too.
And because I wanted to see the Last of Us series, the second season, but I'm going to keep it because there's a lot of stuff on there I like.
Yeah,
I started watching where they go to that posh hotel. What's that called? What's that series called?
I don't know.
You know, it's what's it called? It's a big posh hotel that people go, and it's like, you know. Anyway, someone chime in here. I watched the first season and enjoyed it. It wasn't great, but I enjoyed it. Anyway, they've got a series coming out called It, Welcome to Derry. And it's a prequel to the It story. It goes back in time because, you know, in the It movie or in book, you find out that that's been happening for centuries.
Ever. Yeah.
Kids have been dying and being killed. Pennywise the clown. So this is going back in time into the 30s or 40s or something like that. And it's a series. It, Welcome to Derry.
Yeah.
And there's a trailer, pretty long trailer on Max. It looks interesting.
Well, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to, yeah.
There's a shot of Pennywise. I don't know if Skarsgård's going to play him, but there's a shot of Pennywise. And then the other one is FX has a series, Alien Earth, which takes the Alien franchise and makes a series out of that, but the alien is on Earth now.
Oh, okay.
And that's another series, Alien Earth. So, It, Welcome to Derry, and Alien Earth. 2 new series coming out.
Oh, Max?
I don't know if they're both on Max. The It series is on Max.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know about Alien Earth.
Yeah.
I guess that's all I have to say about that right now.
Okay. What U.S. audience are watching this week on TV? Film Havoc. You can speak to Havoc. Have you seen Havoc?
I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah. Max, the Baby Girl. I watched Baby Girl. A little disappointed in it. At 4 out of 5, I give it 3.5. I mean, okay. Disney Plus, Rio 2, Prime Video, Conclave. Paramount Plus, Top Gun, Maverick. I watched that twice. Why? Because I love the airplanes.
The thing with Tom Cruise is he does all that shit. You know, there ain't no computer effects or nothing. Whatever you see, it's him doing it.
He was going into some kind of awards, and somebody stopped him, with microphone and said, "I need to ask you one question before you get up there on the red carpet too far. Were you really hanging out of that plane?" Yeah. And Tom stopped and explained all about how he did it, how they had to do, I think, 8 or 9 takes.
He basically nearly kills himself in every movie he makes.
Yeah, and they're doing a new Mission Impossible. And oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's already come out. The new Mission.
Oh, okay.
It's supposed to be the last.
Yeah.
But that's already out.
Yeah.
The Final Destination Bloodlines, I want to see. Brandon says he really enjoyed it. I want to see that. because, like I said, I don't get a chance to go to the movies, but I definitely want to see Final Destination Bloodlines. Um, and
Brandon needs to come pick you up.
The Poet asked me what I think about the new Saw films. I haven't seen the new Saw films. I want to see Saw X. I heard that was good. I haven't seen it. So I've got some catching up to do on anything new from Saw.
Somebody's trying, I saw the daily list, but I didn't write it down. Somebody's trying to buy the Saw franchise. And I mean, it's in negotiation. I don't know who it is. I didn't write it down.
Also, that's we talked about this some on the show with Wes last night, and on the show I did, the Patreon show I did with him. There's a new Crystal Lake series coming out, and I don't know how I feel about that because it's going back in time. You know, like when Jason, I guess, was a little boy or whatever, and you know, I don't know. You know. I'm interested, kind of. I don't know where it's going to be seen, but anyway, that's.
Have you? I just ran across it on TV a while ago. I didn't plug into it or nothing. It's an older movie. It's Russell Crowe playing the priest in The Exorcist. Have you seen that? The Exorcist. Russell Crowe, though.
Well, of course, it has to be called something else because.
Well, that's the name. Okay.
The Exorcist is what my favorite. One of my favorite movies.
That's what it's called. Anyway, it may be spelled a little different, but that's what it said. Okay, Hulu, The Order is what people are watching. Apple TV Plus, The Gorge, Peacock, Last Breath, TV, Netflix, the people are watching You, Disney Plus, Star Wars, Andor, Prime Video, Etoile, Etoile, Paramount Plus, NCIS, Hulu, Good American Family, can't stand that. Personal Opinion, Apple TV Plus, Your Friends and Neighbors. And then they did I like my little notepad. They did, okay. April 30th, they released that Horror Overload hits theaters in 2025. Studios are cramming unprecedented 29 horror films into theaters this year. Titles to be announced. Revivals mentioned The Conjuring, Final Destinations, 28 Hours Later. That 28 Hours Later, I saw a trailer. Looks pretty interesting.
28 years later.
Oh, okay. 28 years later.
28 years later, yeah.
There you go.
And I want to see that because I like the first two movies, 28 Days Later and was it 28 Weeks Later? And
it's
28 years later, I definitely want to see that. What other trailers I saw? Black Phone 2, I saw the trailer for that.
oh,
It looks interesting. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on because you've got, the guy with the mask, he's back.
yeah.
He died. Spoiler alert: he dies in the.
I thought so.
So maybe it's his ghost or something. But you've got another black phone, and anyway, it looks interesting. And I'm really interested in Megan 2.0.
Yeah, me too.
Because basically it's the plot of Terminator 2, where
Yeah.
now Megan's good. She's fighting for the girl. And because there's another robot girl that's trying to chill the girl.
Yeah.
So they bring Megan back. Originally, she's in this little electronic doll thing, And she goes, "What the fuck? Put me in my body. Put me in the body." He goes, "No, because you're crazy." And she goes, "No, look, I'm not going to do it this time."
I'm not going to do it this time.
I'll admit I had some issues, but it's all worked out. And she says, "But you got to put me back in my body." She goes, "But I want an upgrade. I want to be taller because the actress is older now. So
Yeah.
I want to be taller. I want to be stronger." And so they bring Megan back to fight the other robot.
But I'll use my strength for good instead of evil.
Yeah, but it's basically the plot of Terminator 2. It's but I definitely it looks cool. it's definitely one I would love to go to the theater and see that one.
I was amazed at how many people were hating on Megan. I liked it a lot.
I haven't heard anyone hate on Megan. I've talked to Wes about it. He loves Megan.
Yeah,
A lot of people, I haven't heard anyone really hating on Megan.
I did on mine, but that's all right. We roll in different circles.
I think Megan's cool.
The last thing I want to share, the dailies. Netflix has launched a new AI tool. It's only in test development right now in 2 countries, but it lets subscribers search on their specific moods. Show me something like Stranger Things, but less scary, that type thing. Show me something like Jaws, but less scary, or more scary. Anyway, being tested in Australia, New Zealand, and UX expansion is planned. I thought that was cool. My grandson hates AI. I hate it, Nana. I said, baby, I like it. Can you look at something and tell us AI generated? Yes. But there you go. But he just don't like it. I do. But he's 12. I'm going to try to bring him through to the dark side with it. And what's so funny about it is, honey, Mom's been using AI for years, and so has Dad. Hey, Sari, isn't that her name? What's the temperature? That's AI generated.
Oh, and I don't want to say it because she'll say something. Well, I'll ask Alexa, what is the
Alexa, there you go.
Right now, it's 87 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, expect a low of 75 degrees.
Oh my gosh!
You can get your day started with motivational quotes and more. Would you like to enable this routine?
No.
No problem.
No motivational quotes, you say, Jay?
She wants to give me motivational quotes in the morning.
Well, you heard it clear. It was very clear.
I mean, if it's before I've had coffee, I don't want to hear any motivational quotes.
But that's supposed to start your day. The way you start your day is.
But what's interesting is, I'll ask her because the one I've got in the bedroom doesn't have a. This one has a clock you can see. That one the bedroom doesn't have a clock you can see. So I ask her what the time is.
Yeah.
Sometimes she'll say "Good morning, Jay," and sometimes she won't. I guess she has to be in a certain mood. Because I'll ask her, "What time is it?" And she'll just say, "It is 7 a.m."
There you go.
But sometimes I'll ask her what time it is. "Good morning, Jay. It's 7 a.m."
Aw. Yeah.
So I just wonder, what it is about her that she decides sometimes to say "Good morning, Jay," but sometimes she don't say it.
What you got to remember when you do this, keep in mind, do you say her name first?
Well, yeah.
If you say her name first.
She won't talk to you unless you say her name first.
Oh, okay, good. Okay. See, I don't use either one of those.
That's the trigger word.
Yeah.
To get her to do anything,
Yeah. That's her safe word.
Like Alexa, tell me a joke.
Where do chocolate and peanuts go to hang out? Who cares? They're just a bunch of goobers.
Very good, Alexa. Yeah, my daughter and son-in-law, April, shout out April and Dan, they had that Google thing. What was it? I don't know, a little round Google thing. In their bathroom, bedroom, kitchen. And I tell you what, I think they took it out of the kitchen because Dorothy May Dot, my granddaughter, is 10 now, but when she's 5, she would stand there and argue with Google, I guess, till she fell out on the floor. Because it would not, because she finished speech therapy. Now, if you talk to her, you'd have no idea the child had speech therapy for a few years, but she did. Well, Google couldn't understand her, And so when she was 4, well, almost 5, she got into the Frozen. And she wanted to hear the Frozen song. Let It Be or whatever it is. Let it go. That's what it is. She wanted to hear the Frozen song. Well, she wouldn't go with F's. So she'd go up to the counter, Google, and it'd light up, play Frozen song. And poor Google. I do not know that. Or what did it say? I cannot find that. That's what and she had kept saying the same thing the same way. And you'd hear her in there. She started running to her room and cry. Because she was frustrated. Doc, can I help you? No, just leave me alone. I gotta go through. She had to go through her little emotional breakdown. Then, 5 minutes later, she comes out. Doc, you want me to do it? No, I can. Bless her heart. No, she couldn't, but she tried. And one morning I got up, went in there and fixed my coffee, and I realized that little Google thing's not in here. Of course, they don't use it now, I don't think at all, but that was back in the day. 5, 6 years ago now. Oh my gosh. Well, Douglas, I asked you if you've been reading. You said not really, huh? When I was at Target.
I just start reading again, but usually it's Stephen King if I'm going to read.
Well, he's got a new one out.
Really need to be outdoors, on that rolling chair I sit on. Because I was reading pretty steady there,
I mean, you were, yeah. Well, Stephen King's come out with a brand new book, and I saw it in Target on their brand new book shelf when I was in there the other day.
I didn't reading this new stuff, but no, and I've got a bunch of books. I definitely have stuff I can read, but I just haven't been doing it here lately.
Yeah.
And
well, all you have to do is go up to my library, which is the state-of-the-art fancy library. Got a real nice I go once a month, just spend majority of my day there. And downstairs they have a coffee shop made into the library. And they got computers you can get on. And I get on there, and every now and then I'll catch up on typing, pen pals, print it. It's a dime a piece. Stuff like that. And then I go upstairs, get a book and sit down and start reading. Sit down in the library and start reading. They got these common areas, up over the stairwells. Of course, I go up in the elevator, but they've got these common areas. Over here, you can bring your laptop plug in at real nice, real fancy bathrooms. Over here, they just got oversized sofas and chairs. And I usually get in the chair and sit there and start reading. Okay? They got a used bookstore. Friends of the library upstairs. So I'll go in there and spend $5 or $6. It's by donations. But I won't. I usually get at least 2 books, and I'll donate 5. I mean, But if you sit down and start to read, somebody's going to talk to you. So if you're lonesome, go to the library and attempt to read. I couldn't believe it. And on the first and second floor, there's real nice areas where, you can sit and read if you want to. Open the book, start reading, get page 2. It's getting good, right? I like thrillers, true crime on TV, but I like thrillers, so I start reading. Do you ever come up here? And I look up and there's a lady standing there. People wear them things in their ears where they're talking on the phone. So I don't know if somebody has stopped a couple of feet away and they're talking to somebody on their phone in their earbud, in their ear hole. I don't know. Or I don't know they're talking to me. So I go back to reading. Hey, ma'am. And I look up, I say, are you talking to me? Yes. And it's usually somebody around my age, maybe a little older, maybe a little younger, asking me stupid questions. Do you come up here to any of their reading groups and they got meeting rooms that you can reserve if you want to have, like a book group, in other words. No. And I don't want to continue the conversation, so I look back down at my book and I start reading again. Well, they've got some really good book clubs. And I look up like that. Well, to me, that's an invitation to continue conversation with me. Not that I'm kind of frustrated. And me and my daughter especially, we can be in a grocery store, a clothing store. Restaurants aren't too bad. They leave you alone there. But we're what we call approachable. Why? I don't know. I don't try to talk to these people, but they come to us. Have you used this spice? No. I don't do much barbecuing. Do you work here? I'm pushing a cart with my little breathing tank in it. No, I'm just shopping. But they're wanting to have a conversation. She gets it all the time. And I get it way too much. I'm not antisocial, but there's times I want to get out, get something done, and get back home. And I just really don't want to have a conversation with anybody but the immediate person I have to deal with. But that's just me. So are you stocked up on groceries, Jay?
Yeah. What was it? It was either Tommy. It was the Loves. I went last week and stocked up pretty good. So yeah, I'm stocked up pretty good. And yeah, I'm weird because there's sometimes I'll eat lunch and then like today I probably won't eat until tonight, probably 6-7 o'clock.
Right.
And
Do
then
you,
I'll eat around lunchtime.
do you not get hungry, or do you just
I really
don't?
don't. And that's the thing is, I very rarely get hungry where I feel really like I
Yeah.
to eat. It's like what you said. I just eat because you need to eat to live.
Yeah.
Uh, you
Yeah.
know, and me working on these guns and stuff. I need protein. So
Yeah.
work on my muscles. You need the protein. And so I usually will go stuff like shit. A lot of times it's air fried chicken patties or chicken nuggets. A lot of variations of chicken.
Chicken.
And I get burritos, what they call chimichangas. So like beef and bean, and some of them are a little spicy, and beef and bean, and beef and cheese, or bean and cheese, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of, with some exceptions, it's either going to be some form of chicken or some kind of burrito. when I eat, and I always like something sweet after I eat something. So I've got me a tub of cookies and cream ice cream I've been working on, and got some cookies, different types of cookies.
Yeah, cookies are my go-to, man.
I got a few more donuts left. That I was eating a donut in the morning with my coffee. But yeah, after I eat something savory, I want something sweet, and I've always been that way. Always. Ever since I was a little kid.
I researched that it's genetic.
Are you the same way?
It's genetic. I researched it. Yeah. Yeah. Daddy was that way. We're that way. K2 plus D3. I got a taste test thing. I forgot to take my medicine. That's what I was doing real quick. Oh. Sorry.
So what I've been doing lately, the last few days, because if I'm going to have ice cream, it ain't going to last long. Even if it's one of them big half-gallon tubs, it still ain't going to last long. It's going to last probably less than a week, 4 or 5 days.
So do you eat how much do you eat at a time?
I just have one bowl, but it's like 3 or 4 scoops. And what I've been doing is I put 3 or 4 scoops in the bowl, and then I drizzle what do you call it? Nutella on top of it. And it's kind of like a syrup. And it's probably, for most people, it's too sweet. It definitely would be for you.
Yeah. No, there's sodium in ice cream. I can't have ice cream.
Yeah, and also, well, you're also diabetic too, And
Yeah, I remember.
but yeah, so lately that's what I've been eating for dessert is a pretty good sized bowl of ice cream. But it ain't gonna last long. I'm gonna get through that. I may get another 2 or 3 days maybe out of ice cream. But yeah, if I have ice cream in the house, it ain't gonna last long.
Do you still drink a lot of milk?
I drink about a glass of milk a day. What I do with that, you're not a dunker, but I'm a dunker. I get cookies and I dunk it in the milk and drink milk. And if I make anything with peanut butter, if I'm going to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or a peanut butter and Nutella sandwich or anything with peanut butter, I gotta have milk, and I will sometimes go through a glass and a half of milk when I eat a peanut butter sandwich because I always got to wash it down with milk.
Do you still have the goober stuff with the peanut butter and jelly together?
Yeah, I've still got about half a jar of that. It's been a while since I've eaten that.
So
peanut butter and milk I've got to have that combination. I can't hardly eat peanut butter without milk. Because it's thick and it coats the top of your mouth, and plain old water won't wash it down properly. You got to have milk to wash it down. So, yeah.
I'm just not a huge milk fan. I've got a taste test. Lily's gummy bears. Okay. There is raspberry, strawberry, orange, and lemon. They're so cute. And I went to Michael's the other day. $4.99 it was. It was on sale for $1. I said, well, gummy bears, sweet, fruity friends, naturally and artificially flavored. No sugar added, made with stevia.
Not to overshare, but I am going to go use the restroom while you do that.
Oh, okay. Well, less than 1 gram of sugar. No sugar added. Well, stevia is sweetened. Colors added from natural sources. No sugar alcohols. Excellent source of fiber. No gelatin ingredients, fat-free, gluten-free, 2 gram net carbs. And the reason I picked it up, 95 milligrams of sodium for the whole thing. And I got to chart my sodium right now. Now, it is, if you want to learn about it, you go to Lily's, LILY''S. Sorry, I took some of it off. .com. Yeah, but I haven't tried them yet. They're a little hard. Well, it's okay. But they're hard. Maybe. Jay, they're a little hard.
Huh. Well, that's why they got them on sale.
Oh, wait.
They've turned hard, so that's why they're just $1 now. I don't eat gummy bears very often. When I do, I like, what do you call them? Hair
Bones. Yeah.
Yeah, I like those. If I'm going to eat gummy bears, that's the brand I like.
I love them. I love gummy bears. These have 95 milligrams sodium for the whole package, and of course, y'all know we pay more for air than the product. And there's a fair amount of them in there, but I don't know that I'll eat them.
Ooh. Hang on just a minute.
I had one.
Keep talking to him.
Hi, y'all. I had one, so I figured that's my $1 worth. No, I found out that I get 2 cookies or 45 milligrams of sodium. And so after I eat a meal, I'll eat a cookie for my dessert. Now, I keep sugar-free popsicles.
Hey.
I like popsicles. What do you got?
Well, I'm not going to have a glass of milk right now, but this is from HEB, and it's they're cookies, but it's Twisters Mexican hot chocolate.
Oh my gosh. You like them?
I haven't tried them. This is a
Oh,
taste.
yeah.
Uh,
Oh, I didn't know it was a taste test.
I'm not gonna have milk. I should have me a glass of milk to dunk them in, but I don't have a glass of milk right now. I don't want to go through the trouble. But anyway, yeah, Twisters Mexican hot chocolate. So, not just hot chocolate, Mexican hot chocolate.
Well, it's supposed to, yeah, that's supposed to be some really good hot chocolate. I've never tried it, but
Well, what's the difference between that Mexican hot chocolate and regular hot chocolate?
their chocolate is very good.
Is it more spicy?
Yeah.
But anyway, there's says Twisters on it.
Yeah.
There's the
HEB's brand of a lookalike.
kind of a brownish filling. But anyway, Mexican hot chocolate.
There you go. Yeah, it's supposed to be really good, hot chocolate. I've never tried it. But they have excellent chocolate. So it's supposed to be good. You can't hardly go wrong with cookies. I like a lot of different kinds of cookies. Now, here's the thing I got to ask Jay once he finishes eating on that cookie. Fruit. I eat fruit. I like me an orange. I like banana. I don't like bananas that often, but every now and then Mills will bring me a banana. And it's good. And so mid-afternoon when I want something to snack on, I'll eat a banana. They'll bring you like one piece of fruit. Today, they didn't bring me no fruit. What you think? What you think? He's still thinking.
I'm having trouble describing the flavor. It's almost got sort of a subtle spice to it. There's almost like a cinnamony taste in the background. I like it. I like it. It's a different taste. It's a different flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it, and I think it would be really good with milk, which I don't have right
I
now.
haven't been to an HEB in, gosh, a long time.
Yeah, Mexican hot chocolate, I like it. It's hard, like I say, as far as describing the flavor, that's kind of hard. It's a different flavor. I'll say that.
A lot of people have had Mexican hot chocolate.
Kind of a subtle spice to it. Like I say, I guess cinnamon is kind of like the flavor that I would describe in the back of my tongue. It's kind of a cinnamon bite to it.
Yeah.
But I like it. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I'm anxious to get me a big glass of milk and go through 3 or 4 of them later today. So,
There you go.
but yeah, Mexican hot chocolate, HEB, Twister.
He gives it a thumbs up, y'all.
Yeah, it gets a thumbs up. Yeah, Twisters Mexican hot chocolate. So,
And HEB is, I think, just a Texas chain.
you know, someone told me what it stood for, and I forgot. But it's someone's name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
H-E Butts, B-U-T-T-S, I believe. It originated.
Is it Butts? It might be Butts.
It is.
Like Henry. You know.
I don't know.
Anyway, but the commercial says, you know, here everything's better. You know, that's what they say, but that's not what it stands for. Yeah, it stands for someone's name that invented HEB. But
Well, they started the little grocery store years ago. Yeah, back in, I think, late 1800s, maybe early 1900s, something like that.
I really like HEB. But you mentioned fruit. I don't hardly ever these days eat fruit. I need to.
You're going to get rickets.
I don't want to get rickets.
You're going to get rickets.
You're going to give me. See, just saying that, I'm going to get rickets now. You're going to jinx me into getting rickets.
You'll be walking.
So what's that? The old Pullet Shack commercial?
Yeah.
Or pullets have got the rickets from eating crickets.
So what is it? Buy one, get one, or half off, or something?
And you get a bag of brackets if you buy buy a pound of rickety pullets and get a free bag of brackets or something.
Buy one, get one. There you go. You
I
kill me.
need to eat fruit, and I really like fruit, and of course I love peaches, I love oranges, I love bananas. That's one thing though. Bananas you got to eat pretty fast.
They go fast, yeah. I usually get maybe one banana a week.
But do you remember those things Daddy would make out of wood? That it was like a stand. It was a wooden stand, and it had a hook on it that you could hang the bananas from the hook. And it was supposed to prolong the life of the banana.
Well, yeah. Well, I had one, but I don't need enough bananas, so I donated it. But April's got one. Yeah, you can buy them at the grocery store but we don't eat a lot of banana. I don't eat a lot of bananas here. I'll eat one every, maybe once or twice a month. But I eat oranges. They look like peaches, but they don't got no fur. They're called nectarines.
Oh, right, nectarines. Yeah, I love nectarines.
Walmart had about 2 of them. Oh my gosh, they got the orange pit in them. Peach pit in them. And they're the size of a peach, but they're slick skin.
Nectarines, tangerines.
I don't like tangerines. I don't like cuties. You spend $6-7 for a bag of them anymore. Half of them are bad.
I like cuties, but everything's so damn expensive now.
Well, you get the bag, at least half of them are bad already. Yeah. So no, I don't do that. But I buy frozen fruit, frozen strawberries, blueberries, mixed fruit.
Anyway, I need to, so I don't get rickets. I need to get me some fruit because I really like fruit.
Yeah, and too, like when I went to the grocery store, I bought me 2 of those nectarines, and I got me 1 bell pepper. You don't go buy bags; you can just buy individual pieces. But I bought frozen strawberries, I buy frozen fruit. That way, you can open the bag, take about 1.5 cups out. And fruit doesn't.
You bringing up strawberries. I remember the house that you lived in here at the lake. It had a big your front. You had a wooden fence, and it had a blackberry bush.
Yeah.
And we'd pick those blackberries, and Mama would make cobbler out of those blackberries.
Oh, I bet that was so good.
Yeah.
Daddy used to take me, and even when my kids come along, and he'd say, "Let's go hunt blackberries." And he knew down there on the other side from where the rock crusher is, there was big old vines of blackberries on but snakes are real bad around blackberries bushes. So he would, vines is what they are. So he would say, "Well, let me get out and make sure there's no snake real close. And, you take a kid, I take a kid with our little buckets and stay right on top of them now. No joke. You won't see them till they're on you nearly. But we picked up big old fat blackberries, a whole bunch of them, and coming back and brought them back and eat till we was just stuffed. And then he would do them like peaches. He would get that sure gel, and freeze some of them. And
one thing about blackberries, though, is they get all over you. They stain your fingers, and they stain
purple.
Your mouth is black, your tongue is black, and your mouth is black, and your fingers are black. But I love blackberries. But Mama would make a cobbler out of those blackberries.
Yeah.
But that, of course, peach cobbler, and of course every Christmas and Thanksgiving, big old bowl of banana pudding. Oh man, still got the bowl, still got the green bowl that Mama used to make the banana pudding in. And they got to where I can make a pretty good banana pudding. I know how to make a pretty good banana pudding.
Yeah, now they have the instant pudding. I don't have to cook.
a layer of the pudding, and then a layer of bananas, and a layer of vanilla wafers, and then another layer of pudding, and another layer of bananas,
Yeah.
another layer of vanilla wafers, and do it layers, And I could eat a whole bowl of banana pudding in one sitting. I love banana pudding.
Yes,
Love
it
it.
is.
Nanner. When we grow up, it was nanner pudding. Nanner pudding. Or nanner pudding.
Yeah, yeah. When Daddy was I didn't work when I homeschooled April in junior high. I didn't work on Tuesdays. I worked Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, half a day Saturday, but I didn't work on Tuesdays. They let me off work because that in the evenings is how we caught up on her schooling, right? Because she was home during the week. But that one Tuesday when Daddy was over in Temple, Lance drove down, our cousin from San Antonio, and I took April and we went up there with her little homeschool stuff. And we went up there and we spent the whole day with Daddy, right? And we had gone to the Temple Mall the day before because we went down there and he was asleep. They had him sedated because they was going to put him through some tests. So we just turned right around. It's 30-minute drive almost. Well, maybe an hour from where we were living in Austin there. So I said, no, we'll get something to eat here in the cafeteria and we'll just go back tomorrow. We'll spend the day. Because it was, after I got off work on Monday, so it was kind of late in the day. They said, we gave him something. We want him to sleep. I said, okay. So we came back and spent all day. Well, she brought her Furby. And it was new to us and if Daddy thought that was the coolest thing. Look at that little thing,
Yeah.
And
I
he,
remember that because he was real sedated, but had it on his chest. And, he was smiling, talking to the Furby. I
and then
had a Furby. I think I sold it at a garage sale.
it was that day that they came in and told Daddy he wasn't a candidate for heart surgery. And Lance knew that they were going to come talk to him, but I didn't, right? So they came in there, and the surgeons did, and 2 surgeons and a couple of nurses came in there. And April and I are sitting there, and, they're playing with the Furby, and we're just talking. And, of course, we got backpacks and a big bag full of food and all kinds of stuff in the corner. And so I'm sitting over there digging through that, and they come in, and they see her. I mean, she was like, how old was she? 12, I guess. And they said, we want to update you, Mr. Real. We ran all those tests on you yesterday. And Daddy said, I think I slept through them. He said, yeah, you did sleep through a lot of them. We did that purposely, but we've got the results and we want to talk to you about it. And it was like Barry, pretty much. You're so weak that you wouldn't make it through any type of heart surgery. Okay, Mr. Real? You just wouldn't. He had 15% functioning of his heart left after those heart attacks he was having. Anyway, and they said, so we're going to discharge you in a few days, and we'll get a transport to take you home. So you don't have to worry about a family coming and getting you and taking you home. We understand you live a little ways away. And Daddy said, well, I do. And he was just so matter of fact about it, He said, well, okay, And he says, we'll be sure and follow up with the doctors down there and let them all know, how to continue your care once you're home. He goes, okay, But April took it hard. She said, Mama, I'll be right back. She took out in the hall, right? And she's just crying. I said, what's wrong, baby? Well, they're just going to let him die. And I said, baby, if they tried to help him, he would die. They're giving him what time left he has to go home, And it took her a little while. And would come back in, and he always called her darling. He said, come here, darling. She went over and hugged him, and she cried. And he said, listen, it happens to everybody, Someday I won't be here. Someday nobody, all of us that are in this room are going to be gone. But we got to enjoy every minute we can. And she's like, okay. But she does with our kids like he did with her. She takes them to the swimming pool. She takes them to eat snow cones, and goes and does stuff. And that's what her pawpaw did with her. So she's raising her kids right. Like Daddy says, we don't have as much as some people, more than others. And if we can lend a helping hand, we do. Yeah. And that's how we is raised, and that's how she's raising hers. But anyway, Dorothy built a shelf for me. When I got this, one of my pen pals said, I'm going to send you a shelf, a plant shelf. I said, really? She said, yeah, I'm going to send you. I mean, we write each other through the mail, so she knew my address. She said, yeah, I'm going to send you this plant shelf. And I said, okay. Well, it was about a week later, Amazon delivered this box. It wasn't very big, and it was about that deep. And I thought, this is a shelf? You opened it, and it was all different kinds of these metal bars, different lengths. And then you can see the shelf things that you connect them to. For 2 months, I walked by that box and talked to it. Yeah, I see you. There's no way I'm going to. So Dot came over to spend a few hours with me last week. And I said, Dot, you want to build a shelf? She said, what? And so she went and got the box and brought it in here to the bedroom. We laid all the rods out of the bedroom and put a sheet in the floor for her to sit on. And she built that shelf. It came with a mallet. She'd get a little aggravated with a mallet. So, and then she'd hit the bed with the mallet a couple of times. And then I said, you can stop at any time. And she said, no, I'm going to do it. I'm doing it. I've gone this far. I'm going to finish it. I said, okay. But she's got frustrated a couple of times, with the map, with the building. She put the rods in the end of this shelf bar and it'd fall out. I said, put each bar in and tap them. And she goes, but she got it done. So I was real proud of her because I wasn't going to do it, probably. But I don't pawn things off on the son-in-law too often. I just really don't. There's one of them gummy bears. I figured if I hate to waste.
Maybe they'll soften up. You just keep it in your mouth for a while. But yeah, I would recommend if you have an HEB where you're at, get you some Mexican hot chocolate twisters. Because it's a different flavor, and I quite enjoy the flavor. Mexican hot chocolate twisters.
Just a little spicy, huh?
Yeah, but kind of it's hard to describe. Like I say, more of a cinnamony kind of flavor. Yeah. But I definitely would recommend it off the one taste. And like I say, anxious to couple it with milk. I bet it will be a good combination. Milk and Mexican hot chocolate twisters. But I guess we'll kind of wind down here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Done an hour here, and but no, this has been a good one. We've caught up with each other and talked about some different subjects here. And thank you, the poet, for joining us. Thank you.
I need help. I need help with that. Is it DA or THE? I don't know what you're saying.
It's DA poet. So it's the poet 2000.
The poet. Nice to meet you, the poet.
The poet 2000. So yeah.
And anybody that watches it after our stream, if you don't mind giving the stream a thumbs up and share the channel if you like the content. Don't forget to look for Jay over at deadpit.com because he's been doing stuff with Wes. And thank you for having me, brother.
Well, good. Yeah. And take care of yourself. Have a good day. Glad you're on the mend.
Ah, finally, finally, well, finally. And that's such a short window. I enjoy it while I can.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
But bye, everybody. And like Kathy says, yeah, if you would please hit that thumbs up, sure would appreciate that. And spread the word if you're enjoying the shows that we're doing here. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do next with Brandon, but we've been talking about doing a show kind of talking about fun movies we watch for fun. So it might be something silly, it might be a comedy, something like it's something that's so bad that it's good, but a movie that you put on to have fun, just to have a good time. It may be a horror movie, but it's a fun horror movie. It's not real grim and dark and depressing, but it's something fun you put on. So I think that will be our next subject: fun movies. And I'm making a list, and I'm sure Brandon is too. And that will probably be 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern when we do it. So hopefully we'll do that soon. But anyway, yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. Keep doing it, please. And y'all have a good day. And see y'all soon. Bye-bye.